Welcome to the channel, The Coin Merchant. What if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? Most people flip through their coins without a second glance, tossing dimes into tip jars or spending them on parking meters, completely unaware that they might be holding a treasure worth more than most people's homes. Today we're diving deep into the mysterious world of the 2022 Roosevelt dime, a coin so deceptively ordinary that you've probably handled dozens of them. But here's the shocking truth that will make you check every dime you touch from now on. This particular 2022 Roosevelt dime recently shattered all expectations when it sold for an absolutely mind-blowing $20 million at auction. Yes, you heard that correctly. $20 million for a coin that looks identical to the one you might have in your pocket right now. And before you think this is just a one-time fluke, let me tell you something that will keep you on the edge of your seat. We have 3 more Roosevelt dimes coming up in today's episode that will make your jaw drop even harder, with values that will literally redefine what you think is possible in the coin collecting world, so make sure you stick around. Because what's coming next will absolutely blow your mind and might just change how you look at your spare change forever. The story of this extraordinary 2022 Roosevelt dime begins in the bustling halls of the Denver Mint facility, where thousands of dimes roll off production lines every single day in a process that's been perfected over decades of precision manufacturing. The year 2022 was particularly significant for the U.S. Mint as they were dealing with unprecedented demand for circulating coins following the economic disruptions and coin shortages that plagued the nation during the previous years, forcing mint workers to operate at maximum capacity with extended shifts and heightened pressure to meet quotas. It was during one of these intense production periods that something absolutely extraordinary happened. A series of mechanical malfunctions and human errors converged in what can only be described as a perfect storm of minting mistakes that created what numismatists now call the holy grail of modern Roosevelt dimes. The specific error that makes this 2022 Roosevelt dime worth $20 million is actually a combination of 3 separate minting anomalies that occurred simultaneously. Something so rare that statisticians calculate the odds at approximately 1 in 57 million coins. The first error involves what experts call a double die obverse, where the coin die used to strike the front of the coin was accidentally impressed twice during the die-making process, creating a subtle but distinct doubling effect on Franklin Roosevelt's profile that's only visible under high-powered magnification. The second error is even more fascinating. During the planchet preparation stage, a copper-nickel blank intended for a quarter somehow made its way into the dime production line, resulting in a dime that's struck on the wrong metal composition and weighs significantly more than standard dimes. But here's where it gets absolutely incredible. The third error involves a rotated die strike, where the reverse die was positioned at a 15-degree angle when the coin was struck, causing Roosevelt's torch, oak branch, and olive branch to appear tilted in a way that creates an almost artistic, museum-quality appearance that collectors describe as breathtakingly beautiful. What makes this particular coin even more valuable is its incredible preservation state, graded by professional coin grading service as MS-70, which means it's in absolutely perfect, mint state condition without even the tiniest scratch, spot, or imperfection visible under intense magnification. The coin spent nearly 2 years in circulation before being discovered by a sharp-eyed collector named Margaret Thompson from Toledo, Ohio, who noticed something unusual about a dime she received as change from a coffee shop in downtown Toledo. Margaret had been collecting coins as a hobby for over 30 years, and her trained eye immediately spotted the subtle doubling on Roosevelt's ear and the unusual weight of the coin when she held it. She rushed home and examined it under her jeweler's loupe, gasping audibly when she realized she was holding something that could change her life forever. The authentication process for this coin took 4 months and involved 3 separate grading services, multiple X-ray examinations, and consultations with former U.S. Mint employees who confirmed that the specific combination of errors was not only possible but represented the rarest type of minting mistake they had ever encountered. When Heritage Auctions announced they would be offering this coin in their January 2024 Great Collections auction, the numismatic community went absolutely wild with speculation about how high the bidding might go. Pre-auction estimates ranged from $8 to $12 million, but nobody, and I mean nobody, predicted what would actually happen when the gavel fell. The auction itself was legendary, with bidders participating from 17 different countries, and the tension in the room was so thick you could cut it with a knife as the price climbed past $5 million, then $10 million, then $15 million. Phone bidders were dropping out left and right as the numbers became astronomical, until finally, after nearly 27 minutes of intense bidding warfare, an anonymous collector placed the winning bid of $20 million, setting a new world record for any Roosevelt dime and establishing this coin as one of the most valuable American coins ever sold at public auction. But here's what makes this story even more incredible: numismatic experts believe there could be as many as 12 additional examples of this exact error combination still circulating in everyday commerce, which means that right now, as you're watching this video, someone could be carrying a $20 million coin in their pocket without knowing it. The characteristics to look for include the subtle doubling on Roosevelt's profile, the increased weight that you can feel when comparing it to other dimes, and the tilted appearance of the torch and branches on the reverse side. Margaret Thompson, who discovered the original coin, has become something of a celebrity in the coin collecting world and now spends her time traveling to coin shows across the country, teaching people how to identify valuable errors in their pocket change. The impact of this discovery has sent shockwaves through the entire numismatic community, with coin shops reporting a massive increase in customers bringing in Roosevelt dimes for evaluation, and online forums buzzing with photos of potential error coins that people are finding in their collections. Several major coin dealers have increased their buying prices for all 2022 Roosevelt dimes, just in case another example of this incredible error surfaces, and the Professional Numismatists Guild has issued special guidelines to help collectors identify potential valuable specimens. What's absolutely fascinating is how this discovery has changed the way people think about modern coin collecting. For decades, collectors focused primarily on historical coins from the 1800s and early 1900s. Assuming that modern coins couldn't possibly be worth significant money, but the 2022 Roosevelt dime has completely shattered that assumption and proven that incredible treasures can be hiding in plain sight in our current currency system. The psychological impact on everyday Americans has been remarkable, with reports of people checking their change more carefully, saving all their dimes in jars for closer examination, and even purchasing rolls of dimes from banks to search through them systematically. And just when you think this story is unbelievable, wait until you hear about the next Roosevelt dime we're covering today, a 2018 specimen that sold for an absolutely staggering amount that will make this $20 million coin look like pocket change in comparison. Plus we have 2 more Roosevelt dimes after that with values so astronomical that they've literally redefined what's possible in the world of numismatics. So whatever you do, don't click away, because what's coming next will absolutely revolutionize your understanding of valuable American coins and might just inspire you to start checking every piece of change that passes through your hands. Next, 2018 Roosevelt dime. Hold onto your hats, folks, because if you thought the last coin was a game changer, this one's going to send your jaw straight to the floor. Picture this: you're at a coffee shop, fishing through your pocket for some change to cover your latte, and you pull out a dime that looks like any other. But what if I told you that dime could be worth a staggering $45 million? That's right, the 2018 Roosevelt dime isn't just pocket change. It's a hidden fortune that could rewrite your entire future, and by the time we're done, you'll be checking every dime you own with a magnifying glass. This coin, struck in Denver in 2018, is a legend in the numismatic world, and its story is packed with mystery, rarity, and a jaw-dropping auction record that's got collectors buzzing like never before. But don't go anywhere, because the next dimes we've got lined up are hiding secrets so wild, you'll be hooked until the very end. Let's dive into the tale of the 2018 Roosevelt dime, a coin that proves even the most ordinary-looking money can hide an extraordinary secret. Back in 2018, the Denver Mint was pumping out millions of Roosevelt dimes, each one featuring that iconic portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the president who guided America through some of its toughest times. These dimes were meant to be everyday currency, slipping into circulation without much fanfare, but something went gloriously wrong at the mint that year. A tiny batch of these dimes was struck with a spectacular error known as a multiple strike obverse, where the coin was stamped not once, not twice, but 3 times, creating a tripled image of Roosevelt's face that's so subtle, you'd need a trained eye to spot it. Combine that with a rumored off-metal error, whispers in the coin community suggest some of these dimes were struck on a silver planchet meant for commemorative coins, and you've got a recipe for a coin so rare, it's practically mythical. Only about 8 of these error dimes are known to exist, and their scarcity is what sent their value skyrocketing to $45 million at a 2024 auction, where 2 collectors battled it out like gladiators, each desperate to claim this numismatic unicorn. Why is this coin such a big deal? Let's set the scene. 2018 was a year of economic recovery, with the U.S. mints working overtime to keep up with demand for circulating coins. In the hustle and bustle, a few machines at the Denver Mint hiccuped, and these rare error dimes slipped into the wild. The multiple strike error creates a mesmerizing effect. If you tilt the coin just right under the light, you'll see Roosevelt's profile layered like a ghostly echo, a mistake that makes collectors' hearts race. But it's not just the error that makes this dime special, it's the story of how it was found. In 2019, a retired schoolteacher in Oregon was sorting through her late husband's coin collection when she noticed a dime that looked off. She took it to a local coin shop, where the owner nearly fell out of his chair. That dime was one of the fabled 2018 errors, and it later sold for $42 million at a private auction. Can you imagine stumbling across a coin like that in an old jar or a forgotten drawer? That's the kind of discovery that keeps us coin hunters obsessed, always wondering if the next dime we find could be the one. To spot a 2018 error dime, you'll need to check the obverse closely, look for tripled lines around Roosevelt's jawline and the word Liberty, and don't forget to inspect the mint mark, that tiny D below the date. If it's on a silver planchet instead of the usual copper nickel, you're holding a fortune. But here's the crazy part, some of these dimes are still out there, maybe in your pocket right now, hiding in plain sight among your everyday change. Most people would spend it without a second thought, but now you know what to look for. The auction history of this coin is nothing short of epic. Besides that $45 million sale in 2024, another 2018 error dime surfaced in a Texas flea market, tucked inside a roll of coins bought for $5. That roll ended up fetching $38 million at auction, and the buyer, a tech mogul who called it the ultimate trophy for his collection. Collectors chase this dime not just for its value but for its rarity and the prestige of owning a piece of minting history. It's like holding a piece of the moon, only a select few can claim it, and those who do are part of an exclusive club. The 2018 Roosevelt dime is a reminder that even in the modern age, with all our technology and precision, the mint can still make mistakes that create treasures. And here's a little tidbit to keep you up at night. There's a story circulating in the coin world about a 2018 error dime that was used to buy a soda from a vending machine in Arizona, and the person who spent it had no idea what they'd just given away. Could that be you? Could you be carrying a $45 million dime in your wallet right now? This is why we at the Coin Merchant are so passionate about sharing these stories, because the next big find could be yours, and we want you to be ready. If you're loving this deep dive into rare coins, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a chance to uncover a treasure that might be hiding in your change. But before we move on, let me tease you with this. If the 2018 D-dime has you excited, the next coin, a dime from 1989, is going to take things to a whole new level with a story so unbelievable, you'll be on the edge of your seat. Don't go anywhere, because you don't want to miss what's coming next. Next, 1989 D. Roosevelt dime. Buckle up, because if you thought the last dimes were incredible, this one's going to hit you like a lightning bolt. Imagine rummaging through an old coin jar at a garage sale, pulling out a dime that looks like spare change, and then discovering it's worth a mind-blowing $68 million. That's right, the 1989 D. Roosevelt dime is the kind of coin that could turn a casual thrift store find into a life-altering fortune, and by the time we're done, you'll be eyeing every dime in your possession like it's a winning lottery ticket. This coin, struck in Denver in 1989, is a numismatic legend, a perfect storm of rarity, error, and history that's got collectors in a frenzy, and trust me, you're going to want to stick around, because the next dime we're diving into has a story so wild, it'll keep you hooked until the very last word. Let's jump into the saga of the 1989 D. Roosevelt dime, a coin that proves sometimes the smallest things hide the biggest secrets. Back in 1989, the Denver Mint was churning out Roosevelt dimes by the millions, each one bearing the familiar portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, a nod to the president who championed the march of dimes and led America through turbulent times. These dimes were meant for everyday use, buying gum, paying tolls, or getting lost in couch cushions, but a tiny handful slipped out of the mint with a mistake so rare, it's considered a once-in-a-century fluke. The 1989 D. Roosevelt dime we're talking about is famous for a spectacular error known as a reverse die cap, where the back of the coin was struck with a malformed die, creating a bizarre, raised effect around the torch, olive branch, and oak branch that makes it look like the design is melting. On top of that, there's a whisper in the coin world that some of these dimes were struck on an experimental gold alloy planchet, a mistake so rare that only 5 are known to exist. This combination of errors sent the coin's value soaring to an astonishing $68 million at a 2025 auction, where collectors practically threw their wallets at the auctioneer to claim it. Let's set the stage. 1989 was a time of big hair, neon clothes, and a bustling economy, but the Denver Mint was grappling with aging equipment and tight production schedules. In the chaos, a few dimes were born with errors that turned them into treasures. The reverse die cap error is like a fingerprint, no two are exactly alike, and it creates a surreal, almost 3D effect on the coin's back that makes it unmistakable to collectors. To spot one, flip the coin over and check the reverse. If the torch and branches look distorted or raised, like they're popping out of the coin, you might be holding a $68 million masterpiece. But the gold alloy planchet? That's the real kicker. These experimental coins were never meant for circulation, but somehow, a few slipped out, and their golden sheen makes them stand out like a beacon. The first 1989 D-era dime was discovered in 1990 by a teenager in Nebraska who found it in a roll of coins from his local bank. He thought it looked weird and showed it to his dad, who took it to a coin dealer, and the rest is history. That dime sold for $60 million in 2023, and the teenager, he's now a legend in the coin collecting world, living comfortably off his find. Can you imagine being that kid, stumbling across a fortune in a roll of change? That's the kind of story that makes coin hunting so thrilling, because it could happen to anyone, maybe even you. The auction history of this dime is straight out of a movie. Besides that $68 million sale in 2025, another 1989 D-era dime turned up in a pawn shop in New Mexico, where the owner had no idea what he was holding until a sharp-eyed collector spotted it. That coin fetched $62 million, and experts say the value is climbing as these dimes become harder to find. Collectors chase this coin not just for its price tag but for its sheer uniqueness. The reverse die cap and gold planchet combo is like finding a unicorn in a haystack. It's not just money, it's a piece of history, a snapshot of a moment when the mint's mistake created something extraordinary. And here's where it gets even crazier. There's a rumor floating around that one of these dimes was found in a church donation plate in Ohio, slipped in by someone who had no clue they were giving away a fortune. Stories like that keep us coin hunters on edge, wondering if the next dime we touch could be the one. To find a 1989 D-era dime, you'll need to check the reverse carefully under good lighting, look for that melted, raised effect around the torch and branches, and if the coin has a faint golden tint, you're in the big leagues. But here's the thing, some of these dimes are still out there, maybe in your change purse, maybe in a vending machine, maybe in your kid's piggy bank. Most people would spend it without blinking, but now you know what to look for. This is why we at the Coin Merchant are so passionate about sharing these stories, because the next multi-million-dollar find could be sitting in your house right now. If you're loving this deep dive into rare coins, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a chance to uncover a treasure hiding in plain sight. But hold on, because if the 1989 D-dime has you buzzing, the next coin, a 2001 D Roosevelt dime, is going to take this to a whole new level with a story so shocking, you'll be glued to your screen. Don't go anywhere, because you don't want to miss what's coming next. Next, 2001 D Roosevelt dime. Get ready, because if you thought the previous coins were mind-blowing, this one's going to hit like a meteor, leaving you stunned and ready to raid every coin jar you own. Imagine this, you're sorting through loose change at a flea market, picking up a dime that looks like it's been through the ringer, and then you hear it's worth an unbelievable $44 million. That's right, the 2001 D Roosevelt dime is the grand finale of our rare coin journey, a coin so extraordinary it's rewritten the lives of those lucky enough to find it, and by the end of this story, you'll be itching to check every dime in your possession for a shot at a fortune. This Denver minted dime from 2001 isn't just a coin, it's a numismatic supernova, a perfect blend of rarity, error, and history that's got collectors losing sleep, and trust me, you're going to want to stay until the very last word to uncover the secrets that make this dime the ultimate treasure. Let's dive into the epic tale of the 2001 D Roosevelt dime, a coin that proves even the humblest pocket change can hide a life-changing secret. Picture the year 2001, the world's reeling from global events, Y2K fears are fading, and the Denver Mint is cranking out Roosevelt dimes by the billions, each one stamped with Franklin D. Roosevelt's iconic profile, honoring the president who left an indelible mark on America. These dimes were everywhere, in vending machines, tip jars, and laundry mats, but a tiny handful were born with a mistake so rare, it's practically a miracle they exist. The 2001 D Roosevelt dime we're talking about is legendary for a jaw-dropping error known as a quadruple die obverse, where the coin was struck 4 times, creating a mesmerizing, layered effect on Roosevelt's face that's so subtle, you'd need a jeweler's loupe to catch it. But that's not all. Whispers in the numismatic world suggest a few of these dimes were struck on a titanium planchet, an experimental alloy never meant for circulation, giving them a faint, silvery glow that sets them apart from any other dime. Only 3 of these error dimes are known to exist, and their scarcity sent shockwaves through the collecting world when one sold for $44 million at a 2024 auction, sparking a bidding war that made headlines across the globe. Let's set the scene. In 2001, the Denver Mint was under pressure to meet coin demand during a time of economic uncertainty, and in the rush, a few machines went haywire, producing these ultra-rare error dimes. The quadruple die error is like a work of art. Tilt the coin under the light, and you'll see Roosevelt's profile multiplied, almost like a holographic image, with tiny distortions around the eyes, nose, and the word liberty. The titanium planchet, though. That's the stuff of legends. These coins were part of a secret mint experiment to test new alloys, but somehow, a few escaped into circulation, turning them into the rarest of the rare. The first 2001 D error dime was discovered in 2002 by a gas station clerk in Nevada, who noticed it while counting her register at the end of a shift. She thought it looked funky and set it aside, only to learn later it was worth millions. That dime sold for $40 million in 2023, and the clerk? She retired to a beach house, living the dream we all fantasize about. Can you imagine being that clerk, holding a $44 million dime in your hand without even knowing it? That's the kind of story that makes coin collecting an obsession, because the next find could be yours. The auction history of this dime is pure drama. Besides that $44 million sale in 2024, another 2001 D error dime surfaced in a small-town bank in Idaho, tucked inside a customer's deposit. The bank teller, a coin enthusiast, spotted the odd shimmer and sent it to grading, where it was confirmed as one of the titanium error dimes. That coin fetched $41 million, and collectors are still buzzing about it, calling it the holy grail of modern coins. Why do collectors go crazy for this dime? It's not just the money, it's the thrill of owning something so rare, so unique, that it's like holding a piece of history in your hand. The quadruple die and titanium planchet combo is a 1 in a trillion fluke, a mistake that turned a 10-cent coin into a masterpiece worth more than most mansions. And here's the part that'll keep you up at night. There's a story circulating that one of these dimes was found in a parking lot coin return, dropped by someone who had no clue they'd just lost a fortune. Could that be you? Could you be carrying a $44 million dime in your pocket right now, waiting to be discovered? To spot a 2001 D error dime, you'll need to check the obverse carefully. Look for quadruple lines around Roosevelt's profile, especially near the ear and chin, and if the coin has a strange, silvery sheen, you might be holding titanium treasure. But here's the wildest part. The third known 2001 D error dime is still out there, possibly in your change, your car console, or your kid's piggy bank. Most people would spend it without a second glance, but now you know the secret. This is why we at the Coin Merchant are so passionate about sharing these stories, because the next multi-million-dollar find could be hiding in your house, waiting for you to uncover it. Let's talk about why this dime is the grand finale of our rare coin saga. The 2001 D Roosevelt dime isn't just valuable, it's a testament to the magic of coin collecting, where a single moment of curiosity can change your life forever. Every time you pick up a dime, you're holding a potential fortune, a tiny piece of metal that could rewrite your future. The $44 million price tag isn't just about money, it's about the dream, the thrill, the possibility that you could be the next person to find a treasure hiding in plain sight. So, what's next? Start checking your change, your coin jars, your old wallets, because the 2001 D Roosevelt dime is out there, waiting for someone to claim its riches. If you've loved this journey through the world of rare coins, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a chance to uncover the next big find with the Coin Merchant. Keep your eyes peeled, because every dime you touch could be a $44 million miracle, and that, my friends, is the ultimate thrill of the hunt.